I am no immigration expert or I'm just simply sharing information with you from my experience. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the process of moving from Jamaica to Canada as a student and with your spouse. Continue watching if you want all the details. Okay, so let's talk about my hair. I mean, no, that's not what this video is about. This video is about taking your spouse with you to Canada and doing so as a student. About a year and a couple months ago, Romain and I decided that, hey, we wanted to move to Canada. Yeah. And we wanted to do so through school. So for me, I had already completed 3 years of my bachelor's degree at the Northern Caribbean University in Jamaica. But I got a job and I didn't really want to move back to Mandeville to complete my degree. So yeah, I got caught up working in Kingston and all of that. And I'm saying that, hey, I'm not getting any younger, so I need to complete my degree. And I decided to do so in Canada. All right, so the first step is identifying where in Canada you want to go. There are several different provinces, and this process has taught me so much about geography because I thought they were states, but they don't have states, they have provinces. All right, so we browsed through all the YouTube videos, all the schools in the different provinces, and to see which of the provinces would best suit us and our life. And so Romain and I, we were looking for somewhere that's relaxed but not too relaxed, because our lives in Jamaica we were just busy working, like, because both of us had full-time jobs. We had a company on the side, Basha Concepts photography and videography company. So we were on, if we're not on our full-time job, we are on our like personal job, filming, shooting, all of that. So we wanted somewhere that's not as fast-paced but still offered a kind of like a first world environment. So I had applied for a number of schools, some schools in Toronto. I studied communications, television, and I applied to a lot of schools to continue my degree in that area. However, some schools were putting me on the wait list. Some schools didn't offer the program that I wanted to do, and some schools I just wasn't feeling it. So I think I'd applied to 2 schools in Toronto, and I'd applied to 2 schools in Nova Scotia. After applying for the schools, I was just waiting around. At that time, listen, I had no idea where the school fee was gonna come from, like zero ideas. All right, but I applied in faith. Spent all of my money on application fees. Mind you, Toronto is super expensive. Even the application fees for the schools or the universities in Toronto, like bro, they were expensive. But then I found Mount St. Vincent University. So that university is like more of and the St. Mary's University. So I had applied to St. Mary's University, but wasn't really feeling it. So I applied to Mount St. Vincent University, and in the midst of the pandemic, I applied to start studying September 2020. And in the heat of all the pandemic, your girl got accepted, like no wait list, no nothing at all. Your girl got accepted. And to make it even more exciting, they accepted me as a transfer student. The only thing that I needed to do was to gather all of my to get my transcript, one, two, to gather all of the course outlines or the syllabus, as you may call it, for the different classes that or courses that I would want to transfer to the university. So that was a bit tedious because I didn't save or I didn't have access to all of the program outlines. So I had to contact the university to get the course outlines for them to assess me as to where I stand in the program and to see how much credits they would take from my university studies here in Jamaica. Listen, the process was just moving so fast. Like, so after the acceptance and all of that, I gathered all my course outlines, sent to them, and boom, just like that, like a day or two, Mount St. Vincent responded to me with my credit assessment. Yeah, my credit assessment. So when I saw the credit assessment now, I was just like, oh my God, like 2 years? Like so the credits that were transferable from Northern Caribbean University, they put me like one course short of 2 years. And it's a policy of the university that being a transfer student, you cannot transfer more than half of the credit requirement. So half of the credits you'd have to do at Mount St. Vincent. So course outline and credits and everything I was assessed and all of that. So your girl was happy. So that's the good part. Now we're down to the nitty-gritty now. So that was all of that happened like in late 2020, yeah. And then moving down now, I asked for them to like defer me because I was supposed to start in September 2020, but with the heat of the pandemic, I didn't know where the money was coming from. Listen, your girl didn't know where the money was coming from. So anyways, that was late December 2021. So that was me, like I had all my paperwork ready, downloaded the tuition fees, the work, the breakdown. So as it relates to the tuition fee, being an international student, you will have to pay twice the amount. So you actually pay your school fee twice because you're an international student. So once you're a resident here in Canada, your school fee will be like 5,000 something. And as an international student, Canadian that is, and as an international student, you'll probably pay like 10,000 something for just courses. And then you have additional fees like your lab. If you're a university student, you will know the different types of fees and all of that you would need to pay. And don't forget your, oh my God, health insurance. Yeah, so the fees and all of that, I was just like going crazy because I'm like fly high, fly low. However I'm fly, I forgot fly go to Canada by August to start school in September 2021. So anyways, no, babe popped the question, like your girl, he popped the question and I said yes, and we got married. And I never left my husband, I left my man in Jamaica. Not leaving my man in Jamaica. So I forgot go on. No, we had to like research and to figure out how I can take my spouse with me as a student. So anyways, Canada is big on family. So they don't like to separate families. So as a student, my spouse will could actually travel with me as a student. So yeah, guys, yeah. And even if we weren't married, so if you have a boyfriend or a spouse and you can prove that you two are joined emotionally and financially, and you guys have bank accounts and statements that can show and to prove that you guys have been together for the number of years that you say you are, then yep, yeah, they will definitely accept you guys. So now let's talk about the figures. I'm not great at math, so help me out here. Bear with me. I'm sorry, like this video is going to be a little bit long, but yeah. So as an international student, I needed to have 10,000 Canadian, plus my school fee, which is 17,000 something. And then for an additional person that's coming with you, you need to show $4,000. So now this process that I'm talking about now is the application process. So Canada not gonna accept if you can't show and if you can't prove that you have money to take care of yourself and your family while living in Canada. So yes, overall I think I needed to show $32,000 in bank statements, and inclusive of school fee if you've already paid your school fee, so $32,000. So I got a sponsor. My aunt wrote a letter to say that hey, she will be sponsoring me, and with her being my sponsor, I had to provide identification, bank statements, yeah, and a letter from her. And for me, no, the process can be hard. The hardest part of the process is pretty much gathering your documents and getting it right. So a lot of persons were asking me if I had used an agency to apply. No, we did not use an agency. Let's say 90% of the application for us, it was mostly done by research, and we run up and down, all of that. And then there's this guy that our friend put us onto. He works at a consultancy agency. So on the side, he does his thing where he looks over applications for couples or students or whoever that's going abroad or going to Canada. So paid him a little thing and he looked over our application. Yeah, so some of the highlights of the process for us: one, we applied online. Two, you have to show that you have enough money to take care of yourself. You can use a sponsor who is anywhere in the world as long as they are legit and they can prove that they have a job and that they have money in their account, can help you out if needs be. All right. Number three, it can be difficult. It can be difficult to maneuver the sites, to maneuver all the forms that you need to submit, all the documents. It can be difficult. So take your time, don't stress. All right. Sometimes the IRCC website is not straightforward, so you have to read it like multiple times to understand it. And number five, if you are taking your spouse with you, that can be a little bit tricky to maneuver. However, a lot of people were telling me that I should apply as a student first, and then I should let Ramin apply after. But time was running out, and by the time I applied, there wouldn't be enough time for both of us to live together because we lived together at the time, and it wouldn't make any sense. I left and he was still paying rent in Jamaica. So it wouldn't make any sense for us financially. It wouldn't make any sense for us, plus when I left my man. But anyways, it didn't make any sense at the time. So I applied for Ramin. So for Ramin, what he needed was his passport, job letter, references, what else? Like a statement of purpose letter, to say that he's coming to support me, his wife, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, the required documents for him were very little. The site will tell you exactly what you need to do. All right. So, also during the pandemic, it was a little difficult, because I submitted my application in April 15, 2021, and we were like, because I need to know what we're doing to get rid of our apartment, to sell our stuff, to get our car sold. That part was So another highlight, you cannot call the IRCC to check on your application. You just can't. There's nobody you can call. You just have to wait until they email you. That sucks because I like to be in control of everything. So that situation humbled me 100%. I just could not sleep. I was just waiting, all of that. And we've invested so much money and time and effort. So I'm to hear no at this point, it was and me not gonna left out the prayer and the fasting. Like, this process kind of like increased my faith, because had it not been for my belief in the supreme being and my God, I would be pulling out my hair right now. I'd be gone crazy. So the process is pretty much straightforward. You see, once you have the money, or once you've identified a sponsor, you are good to go. Also, another part of the process, you just want to make sure that whichever province you're going, you know, certain things is different for certain province. Because it was the COVID time, I had to submit a quarantine plan. So I had to know where I was going to stay when we arrived. We had to book our 3-night stay in Toronto. In my previous video, I had mentioned that. I really don't want to go over this because this video is already too long. So we had a place to stay. Long and short, I met a friend. She handled the groundwork for us. So when we arrived, we had a place to stay. Warm, nice, clean, dry place. Prepare for the weather. So whichever weather you are traveling in, whatever season you are traveling in, just make sure, because Canada is cold. We came in the summer, and for the first 5 days I had to be wearing sweater. Yeah, so Toronto wasn't so bad, but as soon as I got to Halifax, just make sure that you have enough gears, like sweaters and tights and sweatpants and all of that. And it depends too, because those stuff are really cheap here. So if you have budgets, or if you can budget to buy stuff when you get here, that would be lovely. So that's pretty much, I think that sums up the process for me and Ramin. I was the one that was stressing. Ramin was like, because we invested so much, it was just like so much to lose right here. But the process can be pretty easy. If I left out anything, you can comment your questions down below and I will answer them for you. All right, guys, so in my next video, I will do an overview as to my impression of the Mount St. Vincent University as a Black student from Jamaica. Y'all want to hear that? And yeah, enough Jamaicans there, like not a lot like Toronto, but there are quite a few Jamaicans here. Still feel a little odd sometimes. I will be in certain places and I look around and I will be the only Black person. You do have a lot of Africans here, and a lot of Indians. So it's a very diverse province, and it's growing fast. Based on what I've heard and based on what I've read and seen, a lot of people are saying that the province is growing very fast. So if you're looking to be a part of the growth, then Nova Scotia is the place for you, and we are in Halifax. And fun fact for those of you who are watching from Jamaica, Bank of Nova Scotia, the origin is here. Yeah, guys, Bank of Nova Scotia. So that's where I am, Nova Scotia. And so y'all have been asking for empty apartment tour too. That's coming up. I can hear my echo in here because of how empty it is, but that's cool. I'll work on one for you guys, and so much more to come. This video is already long, so I'm just gonna say bye until I see you guys again. All right, take care, love you, peace and love, and you're one decision away from your move to Canada. Bye.